I understand how deeply concerning this can be. However, the allegations leveled against me are just that, allegations.
New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez is refusing to resign after being indicted on federal bribery charges last week. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion has more.
Tonight, New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez says he's bracing for his biggest fight yet and showed no signs of backing down.
I firmly believe that when all the facts are presented, not only will I be exonerated, but I still will be the New Jersey's senior senator.
Flanked by a handful of supporters, the Democratic lawmaker took no questions.
Are you ready for re-election? Are you ready for re-election?
As he responded publicly to a 3-count indictment filed last week against the senator, his wife, and 3 New Jersey business associates. The senator is accused of using his political influence on the powerful Foreign Relations Committee to take thousands of dollars in bribes, including mortgage payments to his wife, a luxury car, 13 bars of gold, and around $500,000 in cash, with some of the money stuffed in congressional jackets bearing his name.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba.
Menendez claimed over the weekend that his critics were rushing to judge a Latino, something disputed by fellow Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
As a Latina, there are absolutely ways in which there is systemic bias, but I think what is here in this indictment is quite clear.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has called for Menendez's immediate resignation, and close to half of New Jersey's congressional delegation believes he should step down. That includes Congressman Andy Kim, who announced he will primary the 3-term senator next year.
I am very concerned that if Senator Menendez continues on, that he could put this seat in jeopardy.
And Nikole Killion joins me now from Union City, New Jersey. Nikole, did Senator Menendez have anything more to say, either at the press conference or anywhere else, about some of that evidence against him, including gold bars and luxury gifts?
Well, as you saw there, he did not take any questions from reporters, although I did ask him where those gold bars came from, but that was as he was on his way walking out of the door. What he did say during the course of his news conference, and you heard part of his explanation there about all of that money that he had accrued, saying that, this is money that he has saved up for emergencies and that it may be old-fashioned, but all of this money was legally derived, and he said that he would explain the rest at trial. So perhaps that's when we get the explanation about the gold bars. But needless to say, despite his press conference today, still a lot of questions remain about his conduct. And we have since seen more lawmakers come out calling for his resignation. Just today in the Senate, you have Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown, who is now the 2nd Democratic senator to call for his resignation. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania was the first over the weekend. Interesting to note here in New Jersey, fellow Senator Cory Booker has not yet weighed in. And so far, John, the White House has stopped short of calling on Menendez to resign.
That's right. The president being a former senator who served with Menendez. But what about those Senate leaders, and particularly, obviously, the Democratic majority leader? What are they going to do to address this, and what do you expect them to do?
Well, as we know, Senator Menendez has relinquished his chairmanship. He is no longer chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. That announcement coming from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer late last week. But there are a number of steps that the Senate could take if they wanted to go further. One thing that's interesting to note is that the Senate Ethics Committee also put out a statement recently saying that it does not discuss matters that may be under investigation, and also kind of restrains from commenting on any matters that may be related to a criminal investigation, that they yield to whatever criminal investigation may be underway. So that in response to some queries about Senator Menendez. And of course, just like in the House, for instance, we saw with George Santos when he was indicted on a series of charges, there was an expulsion resolution put forth. There have been attempts to censure him, and similarly, those same kind of actions could take place in the the Senate, although so far we have not heard lawmakers explicitly call for those measures.
Nikole Killion in Union City, New Jersey. Thank you, Nikole.
You bet.